8 o'clock.
Yeah, so we have got our next panel and all the people seem to be coming in at the moment. So I'm just going to invite everyone to be unmuted. So when Ben gets back from grabbing a drink, everyone be ready. Who else have we got?
Walter.
Still waiting for a couple of people. Hi, John. Wouter, sorry. I always think you're John.
Hi.
Because it's Long John. But hi,
Yeah.
Wouter. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
I'm still pretty lively. We've still got a long way to go, but I'm feeling good.
How many hours has it been so far?
So we're hour 8 now. So it's been awesome. I don't want to sleep because there's so many people on.
It's so fun. I've been listening for the past couple of hours.
Oh, good. We've had some
really good
talks. Is Ben back on? Who else have we got? Just checking to see people coming in. I mean, this next talk I've been looking forward to because obviously it's one that's relevant to most people because we obviously are on Instagram and that's kind of the home of influencers. So this chat is going to be vital. Well, not vital, but, you know, a really interesting chat for people to see where I'm just interested to see where it goes.
Me too. Hi, Wouter.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, all good so far.
Yeah.
It's been a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think the last time was in Munich, but for Zone.
Yeah, February was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago.
So we all got stuck at home now.
Yeah. I can see Mo sitting in his studio there. Hi.
I just unmuted the
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Very kind of you. Don't want to hijack your talk.
No, I'm spying at you in your studio.
Oh, yeah. I just received all my 10 self-reads. I'm about to do a massive sewing session in the next couple of days. So just setting it all up, basically.
Cool.
Anyway.
That's amazing. How is the denim degree going?
Oh, dude, there's so much to talk about. But this isn't my time to talk, so I want to listen to the other.
I did want to have a whole section on denim education, but we obviously can only do so much. But for the next one, we'll talk.
Don't worry, it's okay. Loads going on that, on the PhD and on the masters, but there's a massive Transformers Ed thing happening in a few weeks' time, which loads of people are involved, but definitely check that out. It's going to be pretty
I'm registered.
I'll listen to you guys. I'll listen to you guys. I'm not hijacking it. But
Have we got my CRD brother in? Rope die. Where is he? Is he not?
Is he here?
Don't look like he is just yet. I can't find him on my screen. Okay, well, I'll start it anyway. It is an open conversation, but I did want to direct questions at Walter and Kelly as well. Basically because that's a couple of people that I've followed on Instagram since I started, if you know what I mean. So I've seen their content for 3 or 4 years as I've been doing content myself and stuff like that. And I've become, this is not a negative thing. This is not a negative thing towards the community, but I've become a little bit disillusioned with what a denim influencer actually is. And I basically just wanted an open chat about it, because especially as I've got to work with a few littler brands and stuff like that, do bits of social media for them and what have you, and a lot of people get in touch, and basically you can always tell when they're biting at trying to get a free bit of clothing, because it'll start with, oh, I really like this jacket, where can I see it? Oh, it's on his website here. Oh, right, great. What size would fit me? And then eventually when it comes down to it, it's, oh, well, I don't actually pay for clothes. I usually get them sent. And I became a little bit disillusioned by it. I don't mind. I agree with brands and people sharing and swapping, trading. Do you know what I mean? I completely understand that. But I just wondered what your opinions of a denim influencer were in 2020, and Mohsin, you're more than welcome to be part of this chat, because I think we're a man down anyway, buddy. So there you go, you're on. So I'll start with Kelly. I mean, it's a very broad subject. I understand that. But what do you think an influencer is in 2020 as opposed to 2016 when Instagram boomed, for example?
Yeah, it's a really broad question and a really tough question. I think I pay for clothes, just so you know, as well. I pay for them, and I also get gifted them as part of being an influencer, swapping content for clothing. A lot of brands want to do that, and sometimes I kind of say yes or no if I feel that the brand aligns with what I do, or if I want to align myself with that brand, because obviously you get a lot of different brands, from really, really small to really big brands, asking me to do different things. So I try to choose wisely and carefully who I pick. And I think the main changes for me from when I first started as an influencer to now is that I started it as something for fun and something that I was super passionate about. And really, I was kind of documenting my passion, really. It was like an online diary for me. And then it's built up to be like my second job. I guess now through COVID, it's changed even more. So I am online a lot, even more than I was ever before. And I do projects in front of the camera, but I also do projects behind the camera. So if I'm busy, you might not see that I'm busy on Instagram, but I'm busy sort of behind the scenes. And I think I've actually got more things going on behind the scenes lately with Instagram rather than in front of it. I don't know if that's a part of your question answered, but yeah. What about you, Wouter?
I'll just say one thing, Kelly. Personally, there's a difference between a brand coming to you and saying, "Will you try out this garment? I'd really appreciate your opinion on it." And you approaching and not you, a person approaching a brand in order to what's probably going to end up on eBay anyway, in my opinion. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, reason why I wanted Wouter on as well is because I would consider Wouter an influencer, but not almost intentionally. It's not all about Wouter and Wouter's pretty face and Wouter's, Wouter's providing content, educational content daily. So, and I just wondered what your opinion of it would be, Wouter.
Yeah, first of all, it's the same like Kelly, I think. First of all, I don't see myself really as an influencer. It all started as a hobby, and I'm just dropping stuff that I really like, for myself, and just sharing my passion and a bit of my knowledge as well. And I never thought of being an influencer to influence people. So it was more like, trying to search the same like-minded people on the net. And that was also the first reason that I started my blog back in 2011. Because before the Instagram and all the big boom about blogs and so on and forums was that we only saw each other twice a year on trade shows, mainly on the Bread and Butter show in Berlin back in the days. And I just wanted to set up a sort of a platform that I can highlight and showcase some really cool brands from really small upcoming brands at that point. and also to keep in touch with each other next to the only 2 times that we saw each other a year. So that was the main part for me, just setting up Long John, the website, and later on the social channels were a sort of and still is a sort of a bridge for me to get people over to my main site, Long John, because on Long John you can share a total story, and Instagram is not a place where you can dive deeply into a subject. You know, it's just more like sharing a great picture and with some sublines on it, and rather making a really story about an article, for example, or a product or whatever. So I'm not sure. I'm always saying I'm not really an influencer. I don't see myself as an influencer. You know what I mean. So I can imagine that some people are attracted by a product or a story that I share through my social channels on my site, but that's not the main thing, you know. Otherwise, it would be too commercial for in my opinion. So I'm just dropping things that I really love, that I really like, and if other people jump on the same train, on the same track, then it's cool. And nowadays, maybe you call this influencing, but in my opinion, that's not really influencing. But yeah.
And I know you'll have an opinion on this, Martin. What would you just say about it in general? Obviously, we're not giving off any bad vibes here, obviously.
No.
But what's your opinion?
The interesting thing is, both me and Walter and Kelly are influencers according to like sort of Rivet and sourcing journal. So it's very interesting. For me as a designer, I never thought of myself as an influencer. Yes, I've had many denim blogs, including Shit Denim for many long times, and which many people surprisingly don't know. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you did that." And I'm like, yeah, I do that too. But it's just there's loads of things that I'm involved with that have now stemmed into what other mainly research like driven stuff really, and that's probably what it is. Like just like Walter and Kelly, if there's anything that I like, I would probably blog about it, and I do get people often asking me, do you mind blogging this picture? And I'd probably say no, because I don't, so he said, but I don't make a living on it because I've got my brand and I've got my other consultancy. So I only just blog about things that I think are really, really special. So videos or concepts or anything that I think is really fun. And I put it on other platforms and not my own or not my Denim history one. So yeah, I have many different outlets of expressing what I like, but that's how way I've got around it. But yeah, the influencer thing, I don't like the term at all. I think, and if anyone does ask me to do stuff, I generally probably most of the time I don't say yes to it. I like, especially if it's something really hideous. So, but yeah, that's my point of view.
Yeah, I think actually you've got a good point there. It's like I feel like I'm a designer first.
Yeah,
and the influencing came as part of a process. For that, it was like I was researching and finding all these fun things that I wanted to share, but also because I'm a woman or a girl in denim, I found that there wasn't that much available. So I kind of seek to do that myself because I wanted to share what I found because there wasn't that available at that time. So that's how I.
Your Instagram, Kelly, is one of the ones that is on the top of my list. I think I did it when like Walter interviewed me for one of his panels. You're on the list because it's like, there's not many people who would do high fashion in that way or with a fun approach to it. And, that would influence lots of people. But for me, it's just about inspiring other people, really. Yeah. That's what it's really about. And I'll only take 10% of it for what I'm doing, but the rest of it is just sitting there. I might as well just share it. And I'm one of these people that's never been about not sharing in the beginning of my career. So it just
and it's a community as well, isn't it? That's one of the things that I really like about it is that I feel when I travel everywhere for my job, I almost felt like I had a community with me on Instagram that I could meet all around the world, and I really love that about Instagram. So it brought so many people together and I've made so many friends out of it. And that's one of the joyous parts of social media I know there's many down parts, but one of the main things for me was that I found, and still do to this day, find friends to connect with and people that are passionate about the same things as me. So, yeah.
I think that's also one of the good things about the whole industry that we are working in, because it's quite authentic, you know. So really authentic, real people that are really are having a good time what they are doing, instead of just doing it because of just to get some free clothing or some money out of it or whatever. You know, I think the passion and to be authentic is number one, I guess.
Yeah, I really like creating my own content because I am really passionate about creating photos and kind of putting ideas together. Like, I love that kind of like mood board kind of thing. I get really excited and passionate about how I'm going to shoot this denim look, like these crazy pants that I've found, and like I love it. And I will really kind of shoot different things. So it will be something that I found in a charity shop that cost me £10 to something that may have cost me 200 and that I've saved up all my money for. Like, I don't have one particular, I won't only wear one thing, and I've never really worn only one thing. It might all be denim, but it's all very different, and that's kind of, yeah, I love that kind of creativity with it.
Yeah. But I think that's also the difference between men and women, maybe. I think women also love to change their style more and more than a regular guy, I guess.
Yeah.
So we guys are quite boring in the end, because we all have always having just the same pair of jeans on our asses for 1 or 2 years. And we have a couple of shirts and maybe a couple of jackets that we wear on a routine base. But I think that's also a difference between guys and girls, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It's way easier for men to get dressed.
Yeah, we are also quite lazy, I guess.
No, I don't know. I think it was definitely different for a woman finding a pair of jeans, I think, to fit.
It is. Yeah,
I wear most of my wardrobe is actually men's jeans, so I prefer that kind of look. But yeah,
that'd be a good conversation for you and Amanda to have for the YouTube. Outside.
Yeah. 99% of my wardrobe, I prefer a baggier pant anyway, but I do love a men's fit. Like I will choose that over a women's pant. I don't like them too skinny, but yeah.
Just before I go on to the next little question, I'm just going to say hello to a few lads that have. We've got more faces in today. We've got Jelka, we've got my mate Dave. How we doing, Dave? Thumbs up. You're on mute, Dave, but you'd have to unmute yourself, I think, buddy. We've got He-Man. How we doing, buddy? You okay? The Swedes are still there drinking away. They've been drinking away.
I've got my gin and tonic.
Last 8.5 hours watching us.
Ben, on vocal now, mate.
Still here. We won't leave you.
No. Are you going to do all 24 hours with me? Let's keep it up.
There you go. I just got back from the pub.
That's it. No, I don't blame you. And we've got James on as well, and I know we've got people like Ian and Dave listening. So thanks everybody for coming. What I were going to say is, so then I don't know the answer to this, but I feel like Wouter, Kelly, and Mohsin have probably be able to help us out with this. Do you think it is? Do you think smaller brands need influencers with 30, 40, 50,000 people with the followings wearing their stuff in order to build their brands? Do you think you can understand why a small brand that can't really afford to give clothes away, is desperate for sales, sees giving out free garments as a quick fix to get cash in? And I don't actually believe that works, if I'm completely honest. But I wondered what your opinions were on that.
No, I don't think it works as a as soon as I wear something, someone's not necessarily going to swipe up to shop kind of thing. sometimes it's all about like the way I wear something or the way I put it together or what I'm wearing it with or the location that I'm wearing my denim in. It's I don't think that that's a quick fix to gain, followers or sales in any way, but awareness and a community, I think it does create that.
Because, like you said when you last spoke, Kelly, a few minutes ago, the community is really strong. Like you could land in any country and get on your phone with no money, lose your wallet and think, shit, what am I going to do? But you can get on your phone and there's probably somebody in that country that you could go cap in hand to that would at least help you get to an hotel and sort you out.
Yeah. Or fancy a coffee and someone that
I completely
exactly.
What do you think to that, Walter? Do you think smaller brands need to have their clothing on people with 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 followers in order to succeed? When they're pulling their head, sales are hard. Do you think that's something that a smaller brand should be looking to do? Because there will be some listening and watching it.
Yeah, of course. For everyone who's starting in the game, it's especially for the smaller ones. It's very important to be visible, somewhere. And nowadays, the social channels are a perfect sort of platform for it. So without having a lot of money, you can, I think, express yourself and showcase yourself to a lot of people. So, but if you don't have a lot of money, then especially you have to reach out people that are really enthusiastic about your product or your brand or your total story behind your brand, the storytelling part of it, in order that they are willing to showcase your brand without paying too much, or just do it for free because they love it. Because if I take a look at myself, I really love to adopt the smaller brands, that not have a big bag of money, but it's really cool to help them out and to give them a sort of first jump into the industry. And because when I started working in the industry myself 25 years ago, I was also very happy that I got my first job at Diesel Jeans, as a young kid. So I also got the opportunity without knowing anything about denim on that point. So I think everyone needs every now and then a sort of a platform or someone that is willing to help each other. And to come back to your question, yes, of course, it's very important and very helpful for smaller brands when sort of bigger people on social with more followers will push them, of course. But I still believe that it's just always based on being enthusiastic and that is authentic, That's fucking brilliant. That's Joe.
I also if there's a really small brand, like a small business that I really, really love and I'm super enthusiastic about, and I will actually support them by borrowing their garments and shooting it and then send it back to them. I interview them. Like if I really love this brand, I will support them in any way possible. So I send the garments back, and I want to help smaller brands like that. That's something that I really love, especially if I just absolutely adore the garments. There's nothing that I enjoy more doing, to be honest. Like I really like doing that.
I think that's a really, really, really good point there, Kelly. I think that's a really good thing. If you have done well and you have got a bit of a following and you do find somebody that you're really into, it's a really nice thing to reach out and go, look, I find it a bit different. I'd find it a bit different as a bloke because I think wearing it and having it worn, I'd just buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I couldn't just wear it for a photo shoot. I'd look stupid in it. It looked like I was just wearing it for a photo shoot. Like that. It's different. Yeah. But I think that's a really good point that you make there. What did you think, Martin? Did you hear the question? She weren't actually here when I.
No, I was listening. I was just on the other side of my room. I think So going back to the thing about, is it okay for smaller brands to ask other companies to help them market? I think if you've got if it's your company, you've got a story to tell, you should be able to do it yourself as well, unless you need some help to do it. But part of the job that me and my wife Sadia do is we story tell for other companies now for the last 6-7 years. That's what we've been doing. So creating videos, making blogs, doing articles, doing magazine adverts. It's actually helping tell that story, because a lot of the time the person who's designed it and they're exhausted. They haven't got time to market it and do a great photo shoot and all the rest of it. So yes, you do need to hire people to help you do stuff and take it to market. Unless you're superhuman, you can do it all yourself. And there's brands like Story, MFG, and IME who do a lot of the things themselves. And because it's very personal to them, and they're the best people to tell the story. Having them have influencers, and I know Said and Katie, you don't do any of that crap at all. None of it. And I've never done it in my own brand, Endrame, either. Like I've had so many bloggers, no well-known denim bloggers say, hey, send me a garment, I'll blog about it. But I'm like, nah, because I don't know what you're going to do with it a lot of the time. And it's the wrong context as well of having this guy wear my stuff, which they probably won't be able to afford or whatever it is. I'm saying my stuff is expensive, but it's just it's the context. I wouldn't want anyone to do marketing for me and do it in the wrong way. I'll feel very upset about it. So that's anyway. Don't know if that answered your question.
No, that's absolutely fine. No, completely get that. I just wondered if anybody else wanted to say, like I said, it's not about saying that it's an open conversation. So I know there's people like Carl and Jelka and stuff like that on here, and Dave, who wear garments all the time. But I also know that Carl supports brands in particular and goes out and buys their garments and then enjoys being part of the community afterwards and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and I think that's the way it is with most people. The thing that's disillusioned me is, as I've worked with the smaller brands, the amount of people that come forward and try and take from them. And it really bugs me. I'm not going to lie, it grates at me. And it's just, if any of them watch this, so long as they know that.
But it's not just brands, it's stores as well. Like, I've had really big stores say, we love your product. Do you mind if you just give me 3 or 4 pairs and I'll try? I'm like, nah, because, so it's people always try it. They always try it. And
actually, I would say that it's the bigger brands, the ones with the most money that can afford to pay, that are the worst. Naming no names. But for me, actually, it's the bigger brands that will want to send me things to post without saying too much. It's definitely the bigger brands and the bigger stores that sometimes offer a lot of things, expect a lot in return for nothing. So in some ways I prefer to work with smaller brands, smaller niche brands, because it feels more real and more authentic. And
I've done photo shoots, Kelly, where the models assume that they can take a garment home with them. And I'm like, dude, this is only one-off special piece. Not really. I'm paying for your time. People just expect going, so what can I keep from this? And I was like, you can pay for it. Money to make,
wage.
I physically made it.
It's bank account for you.
It took me, 4 hours to make it if you want to pay for that time. But no, it's all good. It's all good. But I think, but brands do need help, and that's fine. But just get the right people to help you to do stuff. And there's plenty of talented people to help market, from Kelly to Walter to any one of these guys. Help a lot of brands, a lot of cool brands as well. So yeah, that's all fine. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Joe, I agree with that.
I'm just going to point this at Joe. Have you ever had people come to you almost trying to get freebies off you in exchange for Instagram posts and this, that, and other? You have to unmute yourself here, Joe.
We're done.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Yeah. I think it's more your mates that want it for now. You get a couple on, but I can't really justify it. To be fair, I mean, if you just because someone's wearing it doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to buy something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's more, like you said before, it's more of an awareness. It plants the seed, and if you see that garment somewhere else, they'll go, "Oh, I've seen that before." Yeah, then they'll relate to that.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. It's 6 one half dozen the other.
Yeah,
depends on the influencer.
Also, when I work with different brands, some brands really want to see like how many people have swiped up to shop the garment, and then other brands really want me to create the content because they want the shots that I create, the creativity behind it. So it really does depend also what the brand expects. Because I always say that there's no guarantee that someone's going to go just because they've seen it on me doesn't mean that they're going to buy it. It's more about how I create things. And some brands prefer, they want the creativity behind the shot and they want it to reuse those pictures. And so it's two different things, I think, sometimes.
So if I were going to bring it right back, because then we can move on for the next half an hour and just have a bit of a social. So as it turns out, we don't really, including me, know what a denim influencer is.
No, we've not got a clue. None of us know how we got here. We're completely oblivious.
I think as we've been in it for so long that it's kind of like grown up around about us. When Ben asked me to jump on board onto this, like, what is a denim influencer? I'm like, why are you asking me?
Yeah.
It's just like quite insidiously all over the world just growing up, and all of a sudden, we've been given that tag, and we're just like, I don't really know what that is or know what it means. But I try to give good value. I try to give good advice and point people in a different direction. That's influencing people, hopefully in the right way.
Well, I would have thought so, and I think the content that you put out in particular is really interesting. So your content influences me, but I know that you don't consider yourself an influencer, and Walter's content influences me, but I know he don't consider himself an influencer, and Kelly's content influences me in terms of I follow about 3 women, and she always got very nice pictures, and it's very, and that's why I wanted you guys on it, because you're who I consider the influencers. Do you know what I mean? Because
but I also think that the main difference is that I see influencers more in the fashion part of the industry, and I think specifically as it comes to denim, most people and are really passionate about the product itself and the lifestyle and the community and so on. And I think that's totally different when you take a look on high fashion brands, for example. I think that's a big difference.
Influencer seems to define something that people do for a living, and that's driven by the high fashion brands that can really pay like thousands of euros for somebody to have 6 pictures in their reel or something like this. So maybe that would be a definition of something that somebody does for a living, that they will actually maybe go a little bit away from their values. Like you said, Walter, it's kind of a lifestyle for us. We're really into the products over just doing this for making a living out of it. I think all of us run our Instagrams for a good time, for pleasure, for the community, and because we want to share what we find cool.
I think, Matt, your like YouTubes are your documentary style, once a week, whatever you're doing, and they're really strong. And the fact that even us at Carved in Blue, we're like, let's just ask if we can borrow 1 or 2 of these videos. They're so strong.
Anyone you want, man, just let me know.
No, but you do such nice, not simple. You ask very the types of questions that you ask are for the everyday person to try and understand, rather than bogging down with, you ask very simple questions going, what's that about? And even with me, with students, I often have to talk very in a way that to try and make them understand it. You do it in a very nice way. But your series has been quite good. I've quite enjoyed it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I really like your YouTubes. I think they're really cool. When are you going to ask me?
Quite soon, trust me.
I've stolen 2 of them and put them on Carved in Blue straight away because they're that good. I was like, okay.
Well, you're going to have a 3rd one coming up quite soon then.
Oh, it's all good. But I'm just saying.
One thing I have noticed about Instagram though is that as it's developed, like the amount of years you've been on it, I've noticed that it was once kind of okay to just post a picture of a pretty outfit, and now I feel almost that is no longer just acceptable. I want to go onto Instagram because I want to learn something, or I want to go onto Instagram because I want to find something out that I didn't know before. Or so I feel that is the way Instagram has developed and how influencers are developing nowadays. So to share things that you've learned or places you've been, or as your YouTube channel is, the questions that maybe people are asking, that's more exciting now than just a picture of someone. I'm bored of people jumping up and down on a picture and changing their outfit.
It's almost that's the future. I hate using the word influencing. I don't mean that. But that's the future of what people are going to start buying into. If you're like you said, a pretty picture and enough anyway. I mean, I built my following on them. Don't worry about that. You know, like,
and don't get me wrong, I love pretty pictures. I love it. It's just I want something more out of it now because I'm bored of seeing the same thing.
Yeah,
you know, like you get bored of it. And the difference between, I think, an influencer now and what I would call like an early adopter is someone who is doing that already. Like an early adopter in social is just that you're learning something, that you're teaching people, you're collaborating in a different way. That's kind of someone that's ahead of the game, kind of thing.
It's almost like you're a bit fatigued of what the right thing was 3 years ago. I completely agree with that.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Amy said.
I get irritated when I see Instagram accounts and with many followers, like, you know, like we're talking 70k or something, and they tag an image, but they don't tag the person they've credited or they've taken an image from, and that still irritates me big time. Like an amazing account with such great imagery, they've obviously just haven't been bothered to document where they got it from, or they don't want to tag the person.
I'm going to jump in there like as a little bit of defense, because I mean my Instagram.
I wasn't attacking you, don't worry.
No, but this happens to me all the time. Because I'm looking around, I'm just digging in any corners to find really inspirational images, and I try to create my own like content every so often, but most of it's like images that I find inspire something or trigger something in me. And half the time, this has gone through so many different platforms and things. I mean, I'm pulling on old Tumblr sites, I'm pulling on Pinterest, and finding the person who actually took that picture is most of the time, like 99% of the time, almost impossible. I mean, I try my very, very best. And I'm super happy when somebody goes like, hey, dude, this is your picture here. Then I'm just like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't realize, instantly tag. But I used to think as well, it's a little bit of laziness not to find out where it comes from. But it becomes impossible when you're trying to share like a couple of pictures a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that's why most people do it. It's not just to like, oh yeah, people are going to think this is me.
Yeah.
It's really funny with it because obviously I built a following up years ago, and then Shop came along and people bought into that story. So then that got a lot more and stuff like that. I mean, I remember at one point, right back in early days, when I were only at this point I was still wearing just normal Levi's. I'd got into Red Wings, but I've not delved into the proper raw denim market. I got some salvage vintage Levi's from Vintage Warehouse that I worked at and stuff. But and I remember, you know, a big thing that happened for me was I took a picture of me and my mate both wearing a pair of Levi's, and Levi's reposted it and tagged me. And it went out on all their things. It went out on Twitter, Instagram, and I got like 300 followers a day for something like 6 months or something stupid after that. No matter what I posted, it just worked. And then that's how it worked for me. So long as I just took a picture of a pair of jeans or a pair of boots and made sure the picture looked all right, it worked. That was just how it worked. And then by now I've sort of come back a little bit, and I don't feel like I want to post 3 times a day different outfits and do a flat lay. I'm a bit lazy with it. I'm not that bothered. And then,
I don't even know how you managed to do that back in the day, man. That was always impressive.
Yeah, and it was really easy when Shop came about because I were in it every day. So it was much easier then because I could just take a picture of Sean if I didn't want to. And that always did well. You know, like it were easy then. But then now I try and use, you know, whatever it is, 70,000+ followers to do something like this.
To do good.
Helping to raise money for charity and stuff like that. If I put a post out about this, it performs less than 10% as good as if I put a post out of my Red Wing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have to caption my Red Wings. I could literally just hold them in the air. You know, like I could literally just do something like that, and it will perform 10 times better than me actually trying to use that following for something good. I think
you've got to curate your content along the lines of what's going to get the most attention, and then people are, as you were saying, Kelly, they're wanting to get educated a little bit, so they're reading what's in the comments. I mean, when I was when I wanted to promote the denim hang, in particular the raffle as well, like I just reposted the most popular post that I think I've ever had in the account, was a picture of Clint Eastwood wearing denims.
I've posted that twice.
Guys, this is the most popular post. I'm reposting it after a couple of weeks because it's a very, very good thing we're doing here. So hop onto this, and it's just like, it's that kind of lighthouse, not lighthouse, people are avoiding that, but it's that like beacon that people are like, oh, okay, this is cool, let's read that. And I've noticed a lot more people doing that, and there seems to be a little bit of an offset between like what's grabbing their attention but what they're actually educating in, which I think that's totally fine. I think it's a good way ahead as well.
Yeah, maybe I should think about it a bit more. Like I said, I have been lazy with it for months and months and months and months and months and months now.
Buddy, you've certainly not been lazy, not at all. Look at this.
Well, yeah, apart from this side of things, but that's, you know, and that's not just me, obviously, that's Amanda as well. And
I've actually tried really hard not to post pictures just because they get likes, comments, or saves, or whatever. I've actually really tried hard to just post content that I like myself. And I think that I myself am totally, you can kind of get wrapped up into it. Like, oh my God, this one only got 150 likes and blah, blah, blah. And I think that that's a slippery slope to a bad mental state. Has any of you watched that Netflix documentary on social media?
I was just about to say that.
Because I didn't post for 10 days after that.
Just remind me of this document. I feel like I might have seen it, but I'm not 100% sure.
I can't remember what it's called, but you need to watch it. It's new on Netflix.
I think it's called The Social Dilemma. Kelly, let me ask you this: if you were, or without probably noticing it, just like slowly but surely posting to get the likes, did you find yourself painting yourself into a certain corner, a certain aesthetic, just for that?
I found that I would get wrapped up into like, oh God, this one didn't do very well, I wonder why. And it wasn't anything to do with my picture. It was more to do with like the Instagram algorithm and the fact that there's thousands and millions of more people online now doing the same kind of thing. So I tried to stop looking at the likes and the saves and the whatever, and I try to just post what I like, which is easier said than done, 100%. Because you do kind of get into that slippery slope of like, oh my God, nobody liked my picture, like I am totally that person that's like, nobody liked my picture, or maybe they saw it and they didn't like it, because nobody spends, like Instagram does the algorithm thing and doesn't send out your picture to everyone that follows you. So you there is no way of knowing if people actually really like it or not these days.
I've been losing, I don't know, I think it's about 300 followers a week for months.
Yeah.
I think at that turn of year, I was on about 78, and now I'm down to 71. And it literally does not even bother me. Because I just think, I used to think I was working very hard to build it up.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, like, who's that? Who are them 6,000? I don't know. I'm still studying here talking to you lot. Whoever. I do think it's changed a lot. I think it's starting to plateau a little bit. And a few people rode a wave at the start and kind of got onto what it were. But I do think it's changed a lot. I mean, this is a good question then. So outside of Instagram, is there anything else coming up? What I mean, we might all consider ourselves to be getting a bit too old to be worrying about this. I'm only speaking for myself. But what are people using these days? What 16 and 17-year-olds getting into these days? Because I ain't got
TikTok.
The TikTok for the young kids.
Yeah. TikTok. But it's not just for kids though. I mean, like TikTok are making a massive call out for fashion influencers right now. So, if you all want to get on that, then
But I mostly see girls dancing in bikinis on TikTok.
Well,
you're obviously following the wrong
crazy
people.
stuff.
You're looking at the wrong algorithm's
You're
got your
looking at
number.
the wrong stuff, Wouter.
This is, I mean, I can't speak officially for TikTok at all, but one of my friends works really high up in police, and he works on safeguarding unnecessary content, illegal content getting sent, and he says on TikTok at the minute it is absolutely rife. He says it's through roof, really struggling to contain it, and because I've got kids, I've just never downloaded the app. I've just thought, I just don't even want it on my phone, and then they can't watch it, and then they can't get into it, and so even though I'm not saying there's all wrong with it, but I don't know, I suppose from a parent's point of view, I've just never downloaded it because he told me that once, and I've got kids. I don't know.
I'm absolutely addicted to TikTok.
I love it. I do really like it. It's really cool. But does anyone really want to see me jumping and dancing around? Really? I mean, I can't see that you guys are going to love me dancing to Britney.
I've never seen it. We might.
I could get into Dave's idea. Should start doing TikTok videos of ridiculous ways to fade jeans.
Yeah.
Just create his own bubble. His own TikTok bubble.
There is one platform that might be interesting. I'm sure many of you know it. It's actually like Twitch. So doing live webinars and having people talk to you at the same time when you're doing it, but presenting something and having a chat with it depends the people that all obviously follow you and pay for the content. So that's something that I've been exploring privately, but I might be doing it.
Is it worth a look, Martin? Because some of the guys that I've been watching on YouTube, they seem to be doing bits on it as well.
To like comment, you have to pay to comment. So I could give a webinar, let's say, of making a pair of jeans and have literally like 5 cameras on me, and then have my screen in front of me while I'm sewing, and then people will be interacting with me the entire time, and I'll be explaining things. But only people that can talk have to pay. So they might pay only $10, but if you've got 300 people there, then you've done all right, kind of thing. So it's just and there's a couple of friends of mine in Australia who've just made it their living now. They've given up their full-time jobs and they're just doing Twitch.
Wow.
What do people have to pay?
And there's different tiers, and you can also do it so you become a moderator and you can influence, you can navigate some of the chats, so you become the person. I don't know, it's really strange. I don't fully understand it. I watched a lot.
Yeah, I've watched it, and you can watch people. It's like you watch people doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a bit weird, but kind of quite cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zoom, but it's more interactive. but you get paid. Obviously, with the Zoom, you can do a Zoom call that people pay to watch it. Of course, you can, but and have it through Eventbrite. There are other ways to generate cash, but Twitch might be interesting to look at.
So Twitch was is kind of popular with gaming, so you can watch people. Will you actually watch people game?
Yeah, watch people game, music. But there's no reason why we couldn't do a seminar on Denim and have it on Twitch, and a bit like this, but everyone who comments pays. I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that, but there are ways to get it sponsored as well, so people join, don't pay, but the whole thing's sponsored by a mill or something like that, or a Storty or whatever it is. So I think Twitch might be the thing to do. Maybe not TikTok, but yeah.
You don't. What do you mean? You don't want to see me dancing?
No, I love talking about and changing your hair color every 5 seconds or whatever you need, or changing your jacket in 10 seconds, whatever it is you need to do. But yeah, sure. But, which would be hilariously fun. But yeah, I'm more about doing informative things and things that will benefit people. Rather than,
yeah.
Just a quick question: does anybody mess around with Reddit?
Not so much, no.
No, not. I've never got into that really, but it's a bit like Twitter, isn't it? Kind of.
It just reminds me of the old forums back in the day.
Yeah.
It just is a nasty place to be.
Nasty.
Yeah.
But saying that, Story MFG, the guys at Naked and Famous, all those guys still use Reddit to communicate new things and ask questions to their loyal base of people that like them. So and to get to vet out things to check if they're okay for the group. So I know that was the platform that a lot of people used many years ago. But I
guess if you know how to navigate it, it's a good place to get lots of good information. But I dabbled into it like for a week, and I'm just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's a bit overwhelming, actually. I thought I read it. I got really scared by it. So, me being honest.
I'm a big fan of Pinterest.
Yeah, that's a good place.
Yeah, I love Pinterest. I use it for design work and projects, but also for fun. I pin everything. House ideas, denim, you name it. It's all on Pinterest.
It has bit me in the arse though, Pinterest. Like, I submitted a collection to someone with loads of mood board ideas and pictures, and they came back to me saying, I didn't see any of these pictures on Pinterest, so we're not going with the collection. And I was like, what the fuck? So I thought it was the most dumbest reason not to do something, because they hadn't seen it before. And I was like, that's the reason you should be doing it. So
that's really weird.
It's really dumb. But
I think that says more about their ideas about stuff. So I think you did okay in that.
Oh yeah. I don't regret it.
Might is a nice filter actually.
But I love Pinterest. I pin all my own pictures from my website, and I pin other people's pictures. I love it as a mood board kind of working tool. I've used it for years.
The thing that I really enjoy with Pinterest is it seems whatever algorithm they're using, which I guess they're actually using the way that other people with the same taste are putting together their boards. But as soon as I see one picture, it leads me down a really, really interesting rabbit hole to get a lot of other good information, influences, inspirations all over the place. So I really like it for that.
Yeah, I love Pinterest. I really like it that you don't have to seek approval to pin a picture. So there's no likes and there's no comments. It's just you having fun with your Pinterest board. So I'm a really big fan of it. And I think I get more engagement on Pinterest than I do on Instagram, weirdly. Really? Yeah, I get like 500,000 views on Pinterest, which is really weird. I'm totally addicted to it. You can go on and see how many pictures I pin. But yeah, I just really like it because you don't have to worry about people liking and commenting, and you're just doing it purely for fun.
But so you and Mohsen as designers, how much do other influencers influence you? Do you see your designs going like almost like in an insidious way going down a certain direction because of what you're seeing online. It's like I was asking you earlier, like, do you find yourself kind of getting painted into a corner because you're having all of this content just launched at you all the time?
Kelly?
Oh God. Yeah, it can be like overwhelming. When you get like too much information, that it can be overwhelming. But yeah, that's quite true.
I quite like designing concept collections now that a Levi's or someone would see, and then they will get influenced indirectly. That's always a complete pleasure. So fabric developments that I'm doing for various mills that end up in bigger collections, even though they might say, we designed this fabric with so-and-so, but I know clearly that it was actually influenced by a collection that I did 6 months earlier at that mill that they actually nominated the fabric from. So that's what's fun for me. Like, I like designing real concept stuff now, and I like even not putting my name on it. There's so much of it that people don't know it's me, and it's actually quite a pleasure. Like I was doing a video project. We're doing a video project right now for a client, and they showed us a video that we had done 6 months earlier. But because me and Sadia didn't put our name on the video, they go, this video is amazing. It's shot so well. And I was smiling and yeah, that's our video. We did the thing. Me and Sadia did it, actually. We didn't involve anyone else. And they were like, wow. So indirectly, there's things like that are happening, which are real lovely things to do. Real lovely things to happen.
You've transcended the whole social media thing, Mohsen. You and Sadia are just like above us all.
No. We haven't got as many followers as you. But the thing is, it's like, it's normal. It's more about pivoting in a way. Like, we've always been dabbling in videos, even for our own brand, and just other people just asked us to do it. It wasn't that we've touted ourselves as video people or content building people. It's just like they say, hey, can you help us do a video? We like the one you did at Endrum. I said, sure. So, because we're a consultancy at the end of the day. So it's turned into that, which is really great. So, we're directing 8 videos for Kingpins 24 right now, nice. 8 as we speak. So it's quite mental, like storyboarding them all, finding photographers, video people that are 6,000 miles away, speaking to them at 3 a.m. over Zoom, giving them direction before they start filming. It's mental. And that's why I look like this. I'm graying much more faster now. It's really funny. But but no. On the camera side of things, and people don't. Even Kelly's saying, Kelly's art directing loads of cool stuff that we know about, and it's really a pleasure. Even Sadia was telling me, going, I want to do less design work and more like directing. It's so much fun. And I was like, yeah. Even other people's work, I actually quite enjoy it now. Like, yeah, I can find you the model or shoot that for you or make an additional garment for your collection. So
it's been how quick has that hour just gone? That hour, like we were on it, and then it went just like that. We're getting ready for the podcast panel. There has been some things wrote on the comments, which I will read out because people watching on YouTube can't actually see the comments, that's all. And it says, well, basically, we've all said cheers to each other, so cheers, everybody. Adam said Reddit is a forum-based format, very toxic environment, unfortunately. So something I know nothing about, so I've never been on it, but so it sounds like it to me based on what I've heard today. Then we've got a hello hall from Munda. Hello, Munda. Nice to see you, lovely. And the worst part of Pinterest is that you can never get back to the original links, and they all die horrible deaths.
Wow.
Calgary, that's true. I went from Pinterest to Insta, but still use Pinterest a lot lately. Again, I feel there is a lot of full outfit pics on Pinterest. I guess that's what you're saying. And the Swedes, all right, lads, they've said, Kelly, what's the glass? Cheers.
Gin and tonic.
Why is Kelly one day ahead of everyone?
Yeah.
That's my question.
I'm a trend forecaster, guys. I'm in the future.
She's getting gin and tonic.
No, I can't reach the clock. I'm too short.
Well, thanks everybody for joining in. I can see as podcast panel now is starting to emerge and join in. So I'm going to take it over to them. Basically, we're just going to have a little chat about Denim podcasting. I feel that every podcast that's on it, all these guys do something different. So I thought it'd just be good to get to know a little bit more about what they do. And obviously, we have got people listening on YouTube. So anybody that is listening on YouTube, please click a like and subscribe for the European Denim Hang. I hope you enjoy the content. Obviously, I'm doing it through Zoom, so I don't know how many of you are watching. Please don't forget about the raffle. The link is in my bio, 41 prizes. All money goes to Save the Children. So many lovely brands have donated, well, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of prizes, basically. So good luck. I think good luck. The odds are good at the minute. I think I'm guessing we might have done about 200 tickets by now, and there's 41 prizes. That's a 1 in 5 chance of winning something that's worth quite a lot of money. So big ups to brands that have put themselves out there to support the charity. And we'll be speaking to Save the Children at 9 a.m. GMT tomorrow. I'm not sure how I'll get on with that after a full night of it. As it turns out, we thought we'd made it so everybody else could make everybody else a host. It turns out my computer is the only computer that can do that. So when I were hoping to sneak a few hours, that ain't going to happen. Because if I'm not, it's not going to happen. So
you can do it, Ben. You can do it.
I'll do it.
Power through, man. I believe in you.
I'll get on coffee. It's all right. So now we're going to go over to the podcast panel. So if you're not one of the podcasters, if you don't mind muting yourself just so we ain't got no background noise, that'd be lovely. And we'll speak to the lads.
I just wanted to say a quick thing as well. Anybody who's doing the bingo, don't forget to go over and get your bingo tickets in a couple of hours. So go on and get your bingo tickets so you're ready.
Oh. Well done.
Hey, Ben, have you taken a bathroom break?
Yeah, man. How are you doing? Are you hanging in there? I'm just popping in.
Every time you see me,
I'm so old, like 5 minutes, I'm just listening to you guys. I'm like, oh, I might need a bathroom break.
Yeah, you'll know when I'm doing that because I'll wait till conversation's going really strong and then I'll just vanish 5 minutes and then I'm back. It's I ate a jacket potato in the smallest amount of minutes earlier. It's just so I could keep going.